Hey, guys, it's Juanita Coley, the contact center whisperer and CEO and founder of Solid Rock Consulting. Super excited to be here at 59CX Summit here in Porto. I am sitting down with the Richard. And Richard, give me your last name because I don't want to butcher it, okay? Give me
Atherton, Richard
Atherton.
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 Yeah.
Okay, Atherton. Okay. I have a thing for names, so I'm always like, I don't want to jack it up. I don't want to jack it up. So thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me. People don't, I love your talk today. So we were doing a session with Thomas John talking about partnerships, and you had the picture about the big wave, and you were talking about dreaming big. I think I might have actually tweeted that, about dreaming big, find a partner to help you ride the wave. Tell me a little bit more about your path into BT, your role at BT, and why you're so passionate about what it is that you're doing.
Sure. Yeah, my path into BT was quite an unusual one. So I've worked in a lot of different places around the world. So I started in the UK, where I lived for 20 years. I've worked in South America and in Asia, and settled in the Netherlands. I used to work as a journalist, a travel writer, and then I moved into the IT industry in contact center. And yeah, you're probably wondering why contact center, but in the end, it's the part of IT which suits me the most because it's the closest to the public. And that was really what interested me about journalism and really interested me about contact center too.
Oh, I gotta be on my P's and Q's now.
But it was a long time ago, so don't worry. The industry's moved on way beyond what I was capable of.
Okay. All right. So next question. You hinted to BT's process when you're up on stage. You're
Yeah.
talking about BT's process of selecting Five9 as go-to-market partner and,
Yeah.
and the partnership. Tell me a little bit about that process and the decision-making process that you went through.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, it was. I mean, we kick the tires really hard on all of the suppliers that we bring in, and we have existing suppliers in the contact center area. Yeah, so first of all, we check the technology, and again, the analysts did a really good job in advising on that. So we already know, who the best suppliers are in the marketplace. But our engineers, and there are thousands of them in BT, they really road test everything to make sure it works, to make sure it's not going to fail, because the reliability is really, really important to our global customers. Yeah, so the technology has got to work. But what became really important to us, and I'm really hope the analysts start to see this, because we know our customers really value it as well, is how close you can bring that technology to the customers. Yeah, so you can have fantastic AI, which Five9s do, but what they really do well is they build that into case studies which are molded around financial customers, customers in the travel sector, for example. And the way of using it and tuning it and providing feedback through AI is really unique, the way that they do that. And that's really what swayed us to bring them into the portfolio. That's what we're really excited about.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, Richard, about BT, more about your customer. Like, who's a ideal customer, and tell me more about what BT does.
Yeah, where do I start? I mean, BT's been traditionally known. I mean, I talked a little bit this morning about the history of BT. So we're known really for the reach and the network that we have around the world. I think the first thing that people think about with BT is that we're able to deliver traditional voice, to many, many customers around the world. We really do connect, and that's what we've built up over time. And that's really the background that we have. What we've been moving to, over the last couple of decades, is turning ourselves into really a digital first company. Yeah. And our motto at the moment, we have two really important ones. BT means business, because we're really there to connect global businesses. So we're moving in step with their globalization, and we're bringing network and applications in order to serve those customers. And the second, also really important one, is connecting for good. Yeah, because along the way, we want to promote positive ways of connecting these companies together. So to promote things like sustainability, for example, and the ability to connect different companies and different countries together, and different technology companies as well. I mean, that's one of the great things about this conference. It's not about competition. It's really about knowing that this ecosystem of suppliers, it's only really working together that we can achieve what we need to do for this industry, because it's a tough industry. Yeah, that it's really tough.
Yeah. So you just teed that up perfectly. I promise this was not planned. You just teed that up perfectly for my next question. And he didn't know what the questions were, right?
Right.
So when you think about, I love that she said like this conference is really about the collaboration and working together because this is a hard industry. When you think about Five Nine's Porto location, so they just opened up the Porto location here. How do you think that that works together and all of the partners that are here, even the partnership with BT to help them with their global initiative? How do you think that that will make an impact for their global initiative and the partners that they're partnering with?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's a fantastic location, and
It's
you know,
amazing.
it's amazing. It's a beautiful location. It's near the sea, as we
Yeah.
talked about this morning. You know, all the people that are here are into surfing. They're suddenly thinking, "Wow, this is a fantastic place." But now, really, having a location in Europe, it doesn't really matter where it is, yeah. But a concentration of the knowledge around contact center is really important. I mean, what we've seen and what we've talked about today is we're all here, we're all focused on contact center. But when I look across BT, BT has many different products that it sells, and it tends to look at contact center as quite a niche area. Yeah, we're very successful in it, but you know the complexity means that there's only a certain number of engineers who can really focus on that
Right.
the technology. So having that center here for Five Nine, having it located in Europe, is going to be really important for the European market. Yeah, and that's what we're really looking forward to. So it's great news. Yeah, great news for Five Nines and great news for BT.
Tell me, you mentioned about some of the other products that BT releases into the market or serves its customers with. What are some of those other products?
Well, traditionally, again, is connectivity. So the products like SD-WAN in order to connect really large global companies. One of the ones that's growing the most at the moment is around security.
Okay.
And I mentioned this morning, you know, one of the things, the feedback that we got from a lot of our surveys is the rising level of fraud,
Yes.
not just in contact center, but
Yeah.
across all
It's
communication
a
products.
yeah.
So security and how you build security onto all of those different communication products is probably the fastest growing product within BT. And we are aiming to be a global leader in that type of security. So security networks, and then those really good digital applications running across those networks to serve our customers. And that's when we say BT means business, that's really what we're trying to achieve.
And when you talk about partnerships, I want to go back to that. And this is my almost final question. Okay. When we talk about partnerships, what do you classify? You talked a lot and really passionate about partnerships. What makes a good partner in your opinion?
Yeah, we have talked a lot about this, not just in the sessions this morning, but almost every session we have where we sit down together as Five Nines in BT, we talk a lot about this question. It's really important, yeah. It's all about understanding the technology, but the most important thing about it is the culture that you build up between those two companies. We had a really good click straight away with Five Nines and the team that I manage within BT. And it's that ability to take the customer first.
Mhm.
So the great thing about the culture that we understand is that, you know, whether the technology is serving the agent, whether it's serving the customer, or whether it's actually serving us as a service provider, so allowing us to train ourselves on BT, we can see that that technology has been built for the users. Yeah, it's not been built in isolation.
Mhm.
So, and that's a people thing. Yeah, you have to
That's
understand that
good.
from each other. So that culture really fits. Yeah, and I must say it's not just Five Nines and BT. Yeah? I see it from a lot of the suppliers that are here today, and it's a real pleasure to be here because of that. Like-minded people in the same place, and it's such a great event because of that.
Well, thank you so much, Richard, for sitting down, taking the time. I really appreciate it. You could have been anywhere in the world, anywhere at the conference, and you sat down, you took the time to sit down and interview with me. My last final question, if you could leave me or the audience with any piece of advice, word of wisdom as it relates to partnerships or expanding globally and culture building, all those different things, anything that resonates with you really quickly, what would that thing be?
That's a good question. I would say and it ties in a little bit with the surfing analogy that we looked at this morning. It's this industry represents challenges, yeah. And I would say, my advice is, embrace those challenges, recognize that they're there. Yeah. Whether it's a challenge with the fact that, contact centers don't yet serve customers as they want to be served. They simply don't. Yeah. That's a challenge, but it's an opportunity to us. Yeah. We talked about diversity, for example, in your speech. Yeah. We have to recognize we're just not there yet. Yeah. But these challenges represent an opportunity for us all. So my advice is, let's be honest about those. Sustainability is another really important one. We're not there yet. Yeah. So recognizing these challenges, I think, is the first step, because everybody here is capable of working towards the solution to those challenges, but we've got to recognize them first. So I think that's my first piece of advice. Yeah.
Well, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much again for taking the time to sit down with me. I hope that this was insightful to you all in the audience. Until next time, go be great. Bye.